What is the real meaning of life and what is the reality of death? And to you, my lovely viewers, in case you were to die in the next 10 minutes, what is the last thing you'd like to do? Do you even fear death? What happens to people after they die? There are too many questions regarding this topic, but since we are both here, alive and in good health, what makes you value your life even more? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to yet another episode right here on Chatroom with Claire. I am your host, Claire Chelule. Today is a very special day because we are not filming content just like any other. And as you can see from my background, it's a cemetery, yeah? So we are currently at the largest cemetery in Eldoret. It's called Kiplombe Cemetery. This is actually a public cemetery, and as you can see, the people lying here are our loved ones. They are our family, people that we cherish so much. And once you visit places like this is when you learn to appreciate life even more. So stick with us until the end. Let's get to know the story behind this place, when it was started, and everything concerning this cemetery. So as I mentioned earlier, this is a public cemetery. It's owned by the county government, and before it was under the management of the Kenya Forest Service, but this place, they started burying people here in the year 1994. So that's when it started functioning as a cemetery. And as you can see right here, we have the grave of Anyambura, and that brings us to the pricing of this whole rate. As much as it's a public cemetery, the government needs to collect at least some money from it, so the rates are not so expensive. So if you're looking at a grave like this that has this, what is it called, the tiles put on it imekorogewa vizuri, a grave like this goes for around, it's 4,000 Kenyan shillings. And then we also have a grave like this one. It doesn't have any, they just put the body haikukorogewa and it's just like that. This one goes for 3,000 Kenyan shillings. That's for adults. So we have different pricing for adults and children. And for children, one that has a slab like that one is 1,500 Kenyan shillings. And if it's just a simple grave like this one right here, it's 600 Kenyan shillings. So as you can see, the rates are very affordable. And when you come here, you want to bury your loved ones, you can choose the spot you want your loved one to be buried. Yeah, the land allocated to this course is 40 acres. So in case you want to bury someone here, because I mentioned it's a public property, you have to get a permit from the county government offices. When you're given that, you come here and speak to the grave attendants, and then you guys can choose a spot, and then from there you bury your loved one. And from the grave attendant, what he told us, because he was not comfortable to appear on camera, he said that during that time they take good care of the family of the deceased, because they understand that it's a hard period those people are going through, so they handle you with care. So I believe their services are perfect. Okay. And another thing is that I've heard a myth that it's only the poor people who are buried in this land. That's not true. So from the grave attendant, he told us that even the rich people are buried here. It just depends on someone's will or wish. So there's no caliber. This graveyard is open to everyone. As you can see, a grave like this one, as I mentioned earlier, it's 4,000, because I believe it's an adult who was buried here, and also because of the tiles, the way it has just been made. So when it comes to this, it depends with the family, if the family wants to put this structure for their loved one. So this one is entirely on the family of the deceased. So we'll just show you, because there are many structures over here. There's this one that is made of this, is it metal? There's another one that has been surrounded with tiles. There's one that has been made to look like an exact house. So I'll just show you pictures of that and videos of that as we proceed. So right now I'm standing just beside Mary Nyamwadi's grave, and as you can see, guys, this grave is sunken. So yeah, my director was telling me that when it sinks like this, it can't go deeper because it's taken the space of the coffin, I think. So yeah, maybe you guys let us know what you think, because I've seen many myths and misconceptions online, people talking of why a grave sinks, and yeah, just comment down and let us know. There's this grave here. As you can see, there are some flowers all over it. And unlike the other one that is sunken, this one I think it's a bit of risen up. So someone was telling me that these flowers grow specifically on a grave. What are your ideas? What do you think about that? Yeah. So growing up, guys, personally, I had a lot of stories about ghosts, spirits, and all these things associated to graveyards. And personally, I've never been to a graveyard before. This is actually my first time, and okay, I feel a little bit not so courageous, but it's okay. So yeah, so maybe you guys can tell us what you guys think about grave sites, what happens during the night, because we asked the grave attendant, and from his story, he's told us that there's nothing weird that goes on in here. Okay, so yeah, maybe that's according to his experience. And then also, they only work during the day. This place is not guarded at night, so there's no one taking care of the graves at night, because he said that anyone who is of a sound mind will not be hanging out here from 7 p.m., Like, what are you doing here? So I think the last period, like people are expected to be seen here at 6 p.m. From 7 p.m., it's become suspicious on what you're doing here, okay? And also, you're allowed to visit your loved ones, clear their graves any day, anytime. It's free, okay? So come with me. I understand there's a burial. There's actually two burials going on the other side. So maybe we will show you that in just a second. So come with us. So guys, there are actually two sermons going on. We have people burying their loved ones, that you can see from my background. So the grave attendant told us that the most busy days in this place, it's Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. That's when people bury their loved ones here. And he said it's also seasonal. When there's cold, that's when death rates go higher. But when it's hot like this, the death rates are a bit low. They're a bit high during the cold season, maybe because of the sicknesses that come with the colds. Yeah, the cold seasons and whatever. So yeah, stick with us, guys. I hope you're enjoying this content. Please let us know down in the comment section, what do you think about all this? Have you ever visited a graveyard? What are your thoughts? What are your opinions? We believe people have different opinions. We respect each and everyone's spirituality, and yeah, there's no space for judgment here. So from the stories I've had, again, all this is from hearing, okay? So there are some cemeteries that it's so filled up that someone has to be buried on top of someone. But here, what we've heard is that they don't do that. Apart from cases like, when people are in hospital, maybe someone is in the mortuary and they've stayed there for a long while, bills have piled up, and their loved ones have no other way to get their person out and come and bury them. So that's when the county people take the body. There could be many bodies, 10 bodies, 5 bodies. When they bring them here, and they do, like in most cases, they don't. If, for example, there are 10 people who need to be buried, so they'll have to do a mass grave for all those 10 people. They won't dig a grave for each of the 10 people. They'll just bury them in one mass grave, and the grave attendants will hold just a small ceremony for them, pray for them, and that's it. So apart from that, they don't bury anyone on top of another person. So that doesn't happen here. And this land is so big, it's not even filled up yet. I believe there is so much space for more people, and he said in case the place gets so filled up, they'll have to get more land, or maybe they'll have to extend land in order to accommodate the other people. So we have come to the end of this video, guys. Maybe you can just comment about your experiences at the graveyard. Personally, it's been so hard for me because it's my first time, and also it's just been hard doing this content, but finally we are done. And also I can see they're burying someone at the background, and there are some kids who are really crying. Like, it makes my heart so heavy, yeah. I'll see you in our next video, guys, and until then, bye.